In the last video, we learned about one of the Python's advanced data types or collection, the list. We saw what a list is, how to access it, remove items, append new elements, and even join multiple lists, right? If you haven't watched my previous video, I would highly recommend you to watch before you start watching this video. In today's video, we will explore another important collection type, the tuple. We will understand what a tuple is and how to define and how to access how this tuple is different from list. Before we start this, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel and support me, and don't forget to hit on the bell icon for the latest upcoming videos. Let's get started. Okay, and we'll try to understand whether it is really tuple or list. Okay, it's a tuple, right? And what is the difference between list and tuple here? How this tuple is different from list? How Python will understand this is the tuple or this is a list? The list, basically, to define a list, we use square brackets. To define a tuple, we use parentheses. So something which is between the brackets, and Python will assume this is the list. Something which is between the parentheses, the Python will understand this is the tuple. That's all. Basically, the Python identifies the type of based on how you define the elements, right? Square brackets or parentheses. And here, the list is a mutable object and tuple is a immutable object. What does it mean? Mutable or immutable? The list, basically, we can change any point in time or the time, any time we can change the list. But whereas in the tuple, it's a read-only element. We can't change. Once we define, let's think of, but there is one more difference here. The list, basically, it's a slow in terms of processing or reading the elements. But whereas in the tuple, very fast. How this is happening? Because as I said that, the list is a mutable object. Anytime we can add, modify, we can remove or anything, right? But whereas in the tuple, it's a read only, right? So, but how the memory allocation will happen? Let's say you have L1. Let's say I have a list like this. 1. Okay, these are all the elements. Okay. Okay, this list is connected to another list because it's allow you to modify or add, right? This one again, it connects to the another set of elements, right? Because it's allow you to connect, isn't it? So see, it's like a train. It links one list to the another list of elements to the another list of elements, right? But whereas in tuple, only single compartment, isn't it? It's here we have a only single compartment. We can point out to this one when you are trying to read the data. It's a tuple. It's a quick in access, right? So quickly we can access the element. But whereas in the list, as I said that initially it's allocated for this list, and later we change it to 2, and later we change it to 3, and then when you're trying to read the elements from the list, as compared to tuple, it's slow. As we are saying, modification of the tuple is not possible, right? What if someone asks you to change the elements in tuple? Is there any alternative? Yes, we do have alternatives to change the tuples. That's how the Python is flexible for the user friendly, and directly you can do your stuff based on the requirements. and how to how to add elements to the tuple. That we will very soon we will try to explore that option as well. Before we get into that, we try to understand how to access the elements. The similar to the list, that how basically we can access the list, right? The similar to the list in the tuple also we can access by with the help of the indexes. We'll try to access t1. See, I'm able to get the second element from the tuple, right? This is how basically you can access. If the last index, let's say if I want to access from the last index, right? See, discussed in the list, right? How basically the index follows left to right by default. When you're trying to read from the right to left, and you should use the minus index, right? So if you haven't watched my previous video, I would highly recommend you to watch that list. We were discussing how to access a list, what is the index, and how to access, how to read the elements between the list, and many more we discussed, right? And I would recommend you to watch it for better understanding of this video. The tuples meant for read only, right? But if somebody asks you to add elements, what we can do? Let me define another tuple here. Technically, there is no possibility where you can modify the tuple elements because it's a read only. But what you can do, the tuples can be converted into the list. The list is capable, list is allowing you to modify the elements, right? You can modify whatever you need, and again you change it back to the tuple. That's how we can achieve this. So we'll try to understand now how to change it to list. Now t2, let's say I will assign this one to, okay, but I can keep the x, and then what I can do, y equal to the list of x. To see, I'm changing this one. Now what I will do, I will try to add one element here. Sorry, I will try to add one element here, and number one, just index element, like, I can say, okay. Now then again I will change it back to tuple. That's all. This we can execute. Now I try to print the x. Now I have modified Binny to Rini. Just we have modified that element, right? Now the similar way you can add elements also. This is just, I'm modifying this one, right? This element just I'm modifying like a list. Let me try to add another element here. Let's say tuple test equal to, I will now play with the digits, the integers. Okay, next tuple test. Okay, we have tuple. Then I will try to convert this one, tuple test equal to, will assign tuple list, right? List equal to tuple test. Yes, which we are converting this tuple test to list. Okay, now I have assigned the list test equal to, I will do one thing, append, right? Just we are appending 50. Then again I will change this one, tuple test to list test. Okay, now let me try to print tuple test. Understand? See, this is how we can append the elements to the tuple. See, I have modified the tuple test. Earlier it was like this, and then we have added, see, the tuple test, and just we are changing the tuple test to list type, and we appended, and again we change it back to the tuple. Now the records are updated. So I'm trying to join like list only. There's no difference in terms of joining the list. Okay, just I'm printing the t file. See how basically it is easy to join to tuple like a list. List also is similar to that, right? We can write different list and you can just simply just join. So if you find this video is useful for you, just please leave a thumb and share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please support me. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.